Hey, it's Ann back, and today we're going to work on this pretty light pink heart-shaped bow cake with vintage style piping. Look how pretty it is. It's still wet, so it's still on the cardboard, but I hope you like it. This is a fake cake channel, and but you can use a lot of these piping techniques on real cakes. That's how I learned to do it all, on real cakes. So hope you like the video.
Okay, so I started off by cutting one of my round 10-inch styrofoam pieces into a heart shape. I don't buy them in heart shape form. I want them a particular size, and I haven't found them to be the size that I want. And I change my sizes up. So I usually cut them with a styrofoam hot knife. And then I add a layer of spackling as usual. And today with this cake, I combed the sides and I picked a nice light pink to paint it with after the spackle was dry. This is a leaf tip number 352. It's a very classic standard leaf tip that you'd get in any decorating cake kit. A lot of the times I use my hands, just my four fingers, to space out where I'm going to put the swags on the side of the cake. Everybody has a different way of doing it. That's the way I just found was easiest for me. And now I'm going to use the leaf tip, which is flat on the cake, not at an angle. It's just parallel to the cake, and I'm going to make swags. And you can see that I'm kind of like wiggling my hand to make that ruffly sort of texture coming out of the leaf tip. If you just held your hand straight, it would come out completely different than if you add a little wiggle to it. Next, I got my standard small star tip. That's number 32. And I'm going to make some teardrops between the seams of the swags. All the way around the cake, it kind of just finishes off that swag nicely. And you just pull up. And I'm doing everything in all the same color of that nice light baby pink. Then I'm going to get my 1M tip. That's also a different kind of star tip. And I'm going to do my bottom shell border. A 1M is nice for a thick shell border. It also has less prongs on it, so it looks different than the star tip I used for the teardrops. Now I'm going to paint the top with that light pink again so that I can put some decorations on top. And I always spackle on top of wet paint so that it sticks. Next, I'm using my new absolute favorite tip. This is a Ruffle tip, number 51. I got this out of a kit I recently bought. And it creates this very pretty ruffle with ease. You just squeeze your hand. I'm wiggling my hand a little bit back and forth, but if you just squeeze it and hold it still, it'll come out to be a very uniform ruffle. I'm kind of wiggling my hand. I don't want it to be quite so in a pattern. I want the pattern to be a little different. Look at that, it's so pretty. It reminds me of those pillows with ruffles on the edges. I'm using my 1M tip again to make a border on top. And then I switched back to my leaf tip 352, and I'm making one last detail that's in this, starting to be in the center of the top of the cake. Look at all those ridges and ruffles. So pretty the way the light hits them. I'm gonna add some pink pearls. You could add white pearls, but I have a big bag of pink pearls right now, so I'm using those. And it matches almost perfectly. So I'm doing every other teardrop with a pink pearl, and then I'm adding ribbons. I'm going to add ribbons to every other teardrop. That kind of gives the ribbon a little room to move. If you did it on every swag, it might be a little too much. So I did pearl ribbon, pearl ribbon. This is a nice pink satin ribbon I got on Amazon. I don't make those loops very big. I try to make them tight so it'll look dainty. And I just press them onto my spackling while it's wet. And then later when everything dries, I will hot glue it so that, or even tacky glue, so that it just makes, I just always want to make sure everything stays in place. But that's after the spackle completely dries, so a couple of days. And you cut the ribbons to your liking, to the length that you want them. I like to keep mine long. And there it is. Pretty pink heart ruffle cake.
I hope you like that video. I hope you like the way that cake turned out. Do you think you're gonna make a cake like that? Do you think you're capable of doing that? I do. Just take some practice and patience. Have patience with yourself. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Comment below if you have any questions, and subscribe to this channel. And I'll see you next time. Bye.